Leo Demonheart, the hero, makes his way to the castle ruins of Demon Lord Echidna to see her and her 4 generals. He wants to join their party. He tries to throw in freebies in addition to his great list of achievements if she hires him. She rejects him and has her generals throw him out. But soon, the generals are having a secret meeting with him since he returned to beg them. So he tries to convince them by detailing how he defeated them. He first tells us how he is super strong, and had he not had useless comrades, he would have defeated Echidna quickly. The first general he fought was Edvard, and it was a tough fight with this dragonfolk warrior. Had he not been some kind of noble warrior and Leo used tricks other than his sword, he might have lost. Next, he faced Murns, who is lightning fast. Leo did not fight him on that level, and instead used a devastating spell to blow up the whole area. Next is Lily. She was amnesiac at first, and he took care of her. But when she got her memories back and attacked, she was actually weak and got defeated in no time, and now she takes a liking to him. Finally, Shutina. Succubus had lots of mana. Too bad he nullified them all and easily bested her in hand-to-hand combat. Now he explains why he wants to join them. Shortly after defeating Echidna, he returned to the capital, and instead of being greeted by cheers, they jeered him instead. The people think he is a monster who cannot roam free, so they send assassins to kill him. The king is forced to banish him to quell his people. With no home, he wandered aimlessly until he heard people bad-mouthing Echidna. He decided to join her because if this world is going to kill him, he'll kill them first. Shutina will give him a month's trial to prove himself, and of course he must not let his presence be known to Echidna. Failing which, he will be kicked out. Success would mean they would recommend to Echidna that he join. Leo's bet won't disappoint them, because he too needs to ask Echidna many questions. Like when she invaded the land, she ordered her demon army not to indiscriminately kill. Also, why does she continue to remain in the human world after her defeat? He'll join her army to find out. Shutina is trying to sleep in, so Leo imitates Echidna's voice for the greatest wake-up call of her life, also revealing all the incomplete tasks at hand. Embarrassed, she lets loose several blasts. Echidna thinks she is really stressed out. With Leo here to help lift some load off her shoulders, it seems that with the great departure of personnel in the army, somebody has to fill in those jobs, and the only one who knows how to do it all is Shutina. Hence, she takes it upon herself to do everything herself. He checks her list and notices that the mana reactors that need replenishment have the lowest priority. He promises to take care of this one. To move around freely in the castle, he hides underneath an armor and calls himself Black Knight Onyx. After 30 minutes, he returns and claims his job is done. But before Shutina could hand him the next one, he claimed he was tired and needed to rest. But an hour passed, and he did nothing but loaf around, claiming he needed more time. Just when she has had it, and is very disappointed in it, Dianette comes in to report. Leo went to buy some amethyst, used it to match Shutina's wavelength, and then had Dianette replenish it as a talisman. Dianette was also to find other people with similar abilities to split up the job. With this job now delegated, Shutina only needs to let them handle it and hear their reports. Leo didn't say anything, as he knew she would rush off to check things out herself. As for him loafing around, he was actually peeking at Shutina's job and has reorganized some tasks that can be delegated. Hence, it is her job to teach them how to handle it. Shutina is impressed and apologizes for jumping to conclusions. Leo may have crossed the line as he bugged her for that reward kiss or got her into bed with him. Soon, Shutina calls Leo for another helping hand. This time, Lily will head to Largo for a logistics mission as food supplies are running low. Shutina says that 3,000 years ago, when the previous demon lord attacked and failed, many denizens of the demon realm found peace with humanity. They coexisted for a while, until one day they were persecuted by humans. Among them is the dragonfolk, who still holds a grudge against humans to this day. Hence, the refugees settled on Largo, and they've become a great ally to Echidna in supplying resources. While it might seem logical to send Edvard, somebody needs to guard the castle. Besides, he might do everything himself. Hence, Leo's job is to keep an eye on Lily. Of course, it is easier said than done, as Lily is having fun getting the supplies and making it hard for others. Leo has to apologize to the citizens since Lily just bulldozed through their land without much thought. Worse, as an intern, he has no authority to assign and reassign the underlings for the right job. In order to make Lily grow, Leo feigns having been poisoned, and the only way is with some herbal cure in the mountains. Panicky Lily sets out to get that as she transforms into her true Fenrir wolf form. This is all part of Leo's plan, as he has placed obstacles throughout the path. All Lily needs to do is think of the right person to get help, and the obstacle is easily overcome. However, Lily does it all by herself. Instead of calling those with magic to destroy a strong boulder, she rams it until it breaks. Then, as a chasm is too wide for her to jump over, a minstrel controlled by Leo sings and hints about getting help. She does that, but the villagers told her to swim across and climb up. And so Leo's plan fails as every obstacle Lily overcomes herself. Eventually, she gets the herbs, and she also talks to him about her plan to get help from others. She admits she is dumb and won't get it unless someone tells her. This is when he realizes he himself is the bigger fool for assuming the only way to get it through her was by forcing her into a situation. Thanks to that, the castle supplies go smoothly without hiccups. As Leo soon returns, Shutina has an urgent message for him. Echidna wants to see Onyx now. Shutina reported that, thanks to Onyx, their work has been proceeding smoothly. Leo goes to see her, as he thinks she is mad for not showing his face and trying to come up with an excuse. It turns out Echidna wholeheartedly welcomes him and wants him to feast with her alone. Then she forcefully unmasks him. Luckily, he manages to change his face slightly, so she doesn't recognize him. Leo then proceeds to use several methods to get himself out of this hell party as soon as possible, but only to backfire. Like filling her cup every time until she gets drunk. Too bad, she's a heavy drinker and now drinks straight from the bottle. Echidna threw this banquet as thanks for helping lessen the load on Shutina. But when Leo asks about the hero and about his prospects for joining her army, her mood sours as she starts ranting and complaining about him. Echidna blames Leo for defeating her army when they were so close to getting the Philosopher's Stone. Rumors have it that it could turn wastelands into green fields as well as others like immortality. But Leo knows it is all untrue since he used it before, but nothing happened. Leo now knows why Echidna has not retreated to her realm despite her defeat. It is not the conquest of humanity she wants, but the Philosopher's Stone. Leo asks, why does she want it? She explains that her demon world has no sunlight, no vegetation, heavy air, and polluted water. The clans fight among each other for the few resources and bloody the land further. Hence, she wants that stone to reforge the land in that vast wasteland. She would love to explain it to humans, but as expected, they won't listen. Once her land is reforged, those who supported her side will be given refuge in her land. She doesn't care about humanity, despite not holding a grudge against them. As for her needless killing policy, it was her naivety that cost her the victory. Leo now has a different view of her and finds her to be a queen who cares for her people. She must be fraught with anxiety about whether her actions were right or wrong. Furthermore, she doesn't blame the hero, as it is his job to defend humanity from invaders. This now puts Leo in a dilemma, as Echidna has opened her heart to him. Further deception might upset her when he reveals the truth. However, after learning about her circumstances, he now truly wants to support her. He doesn't want to lie to her anymore and will tell the truth. As he is about to reveal himself, Shutina and Lily barge in with devastating news. Mearns and Edvard have left letters, leaving the army, as they claim they have not contributed much. Mearns left on a journey, and Edvard wants to take his own life. While Echidna and the rest go to find Edvard, Leo will track down Mearns. He manages to find him, but since Mearns doesn't talk much, Leo is fine if Mearns wants to quit, but he doesn't want him to regret it. Mearns reveals that he has to hold an interview for recruits in 3 days. Since he isn't good at communication, that's why he decided to leave to visit villagers in hopes of learning something. But since Leo is here, he wants him to turn him into a good communicator by then. Leo reports this Echidna and the rest. They too report that they have found Edvard trying to kill himself, but his scales are so hard that normal swords cannot penetrate. Being a stubborn warrior, he thinks this is the only way to die. For now, his daughter Julieta is keeping an eye on him until he opens up and tells them the real story. Leo will come back to assist them once he is done with Mearns. The best way to learn about communication is to go down to ground level. Being part of the service industry, the duo is being watered at a mess hall. Mearns has to cross-dress as a maid. This is because the monsters are more likely to recognize him. Mearns gets frustrated, thinking Leo isn't teaching him anything. Aside from making conversation a group activity, the other is to stay silent and listen. He only does it to end the conversation quickly. Besides, it is hard for an assassin to feel empathy, as he is trained to get rid of everything. When a rowdy bunch of wolves take their order, they also badmouth Mearns, even trying to get lucky with him. Mearns is patient and polite until they start to step over the line. That is when Mearns beats them up real good. It is then that the monsters recognize Mearns when they take a closer look. At the end of the day, Leo praises Mearns for handling it well since he did his job and taught those ruffians lessons the way they should. The day isn't done yet, as Leo wants to practice interviewing him. Mearns then starts off by asking him why he wants to join this army. Leo is so strong he could actually destroy humanity himself, so why hasn't he? Leo tries to dodge this, but with Mearns getting serious, Leo then learns that Mearns really wants to destroy all of humanity. Mearns is half human and half demon. After being bought and sold to numerous guilds, he ended up in an assassin guild, where they thought they could dispose of him on his first job. However, Mearns survived, and this became his way of life. Therefore, when Echidna invaded, he really wanted to see humanity perish, and was the one who let them through an invasion. However, he was shocked when Echidna did not slaughter the humans and only rounded up the corrupt mayor and nobles. Even more so when Echidna's generals didn't see it right to kill humanity just because of a few bad apples. But Mearns was not impressed and decided to join Echidna's army to achieve his goal. If it comes down to it, he'll kill her and take over the slaughtering. Things were going fine until a certain hero showed up. When Leo defeated him, instead of killing him like he wanted, he told Mearns to go see the world for himself and not because of his job. Because of this, Mearns finds it hard to believe that he really wants to destroy humanity. Mearns finds it strange that he doesn't hate humanity despite being abandoned by them. That is when Leo begins to reveal his true history. When humanity abandoned him, he was actually happy about it. He came from a world that was at the height of its technological advancement. One day, monsters popped up from Tokyo and started decimating the place. Humans tried to fight back, but being the weaklings they are, they decided to fight fire with fire and created demons to fight them. They made 12 Demon Heart series, and Leo is one of them. He is a living weapon and the only survivor. The moment he was born, he knew nothing except to be a hero and to save humanity. Since he was the most durable, he outlived the rest, who went down one by one. Leo's regret is that he missed the chance to die, and the more he fought, the stronger he grew, making humans depend on him further. That's why, when they didn't need him anymore, he felt relieved because it was a chance for him to quit being a hero and do what he wanted. And now he can travel and see the world on his own terms. Part of that is joining Echidna's army. Mearns is further shocked to learn that Leo is that legendary sage who defeated Echidna's father, Cycrius, the previous demon lord, hundreds of years ago. Leo stopped counting his age after surpassing 1,000. It doesn't even matter anymore. Leo finds Echidna and others to be actually nice people, and that's why he is willing to work hard for them. He'll get the Philosopher's Stone for them. Leo realizes he told all this. Perhaps he needed someone to listen to his story. And Mearns is the best candidate for that, although he isn't much of a talker. Talking to Julieta, Leo learns that Edvard was training the new recruits. But since they failed to even defeat a single chimera, he chastises them for being weak and all. But ultimately, he holds himself responsible and will kill himself. That will make the army stronger. She explains that the problem with her father is that she expects everyone to be on the same level as him when it is clearly not. Leo has got a plan. But soon he receives news that he is leaving the army. Actually, he doesn't see himself fit as the general and will be a foot soldier with the rest. He is going to let Julieta command the troops when a robot golem attacks. This is an artifact unearthed from the mines, and Leo knows all about it. This is part of his plan to get Edvard back. Edvard resumes command as he orders his soldiers to attack it, weapons not piercing its thick armor. Then the robot goes out of control and fires a powerful blast that could decimate a mountain. The soldiers run, so Edvard is going to deal with it alone. Leo pops up to help and wants him to follow his orders. Unfortunately, Edvard cannot understand all the complicated terms Leo spouts. With Julieta pitching in to help point out its weakness, the robot soon stops moving. However, it called for reinforcements, and more are starting to activate from the mines. How can Leo deal with this? He doesn't have to, because Echidna and the other generals are here to cover his back. With Edvard thanking Leo, Leo instead scolds him, saying that he couldn't defeat a mere robot. He points out that he hasn't worked hard enough. No matter how Edvard tries to reason, it all seems to reflect that he did all this same thing to his men, so they haven't fought a chimera. Julieta will not stand for Leo insulting her father because she thinks he is assuming others know what he can do. Edvard realizes this important lesson and apologizes to his men for his insensitivity. They continue to be inspired by him, and they hope he'll train them more. Shutina tells Leo that he will be summoned by Echidna soon, probably to promote him alongside them. She also heard from Murns about his reasons to join them. He assures them he won't betray them. Leo remembers a time during the aftermath of the destruction of Tokyo. He met an imp named Ibrad, who managed to keep a conversation going with Leo to avoid getting killed. This includes telling him valuable information about the place where the demon world is, and that their current ruler, Belial, solves everything via violence. Some of the demons don't want war, but when Belial opened a portal to Earth, the aggressive ones started terrorizing the place, and soon war broke out. Some tried to run back to the portal, but it was closed. Ibrad believed they were left here to die. Leo won't kill him after all that valuable information. He will accompany him to a protection ward. As they continued walking, Ibrad asked his name, and this shocked Leo because no demon had done that before. After learning of Leo's origins, Ibrad feels bad about him and worried for his future. Basically, he has been given a specific duty since coming into existence. Hence, once the war is over, he will have no purpose in life, considering he is immortal. Leo is more than happy to be on standby until the next war breaks out. That is, if he doesn't die in this war. To assure Ibrad, he claims he is the weakest among the Demon Heart series, and that is why he isn't on the front lines. Hence, he might not live forever. Before they part ways, Ibrad realizes going back to the demon world is impossible, so he decides to dedicate the rest of his life to finding ways for humans and demons to coexist in harmony. He hopes Leo can put up a statue of him once he bridges that gap. His last advice to Leo is not to get caught up in this humanity, and if humanity doesn't need him, it's the best chance to ditch this job and do as he wishes. Leo didn't understand all that in the end, but he remembered all of Ibrad's words. Now that he understands them, he is going to make the big reveal to Echidna. Echidna is happily awaiting the announcement of Onyx's official inclusion into her fold. Suddenly, the portal acts up, and although a temporary measure is put in place, the portal may not hold up long, and the next opening may take a long time, during which the demon realm will suffer. The first option is to disband the army and retreat. The second option is to immediately mobilize their army to attack Renales. This is risky as their troops are still weak, and Echidna, despite accepting the risk of her death, is not willing to bring death to others. Hence, her only option is to retreat, and she'll find a way to bring peace to her world. While she is lamenting about this, she doesn't realize Leo has taken off his helmet as he explains that the Philosopher's Stone is not a wish-granting machine, and that it's some advanced engine utilizing some micro-black hole. In fact, there are 2 such stones, and since she needs only one to accomplish her goals, this would be ideal for her to create peace between the realms. Echidna is dumbfounded to see Leo's unmasked face. He apologizes for this deception to earn her trust. His intention to join her army is to see if she is worthy of taking the Philosopher's Stone, and he is convinced that she is. Understandably, she is mad and starts blasting him. Back to the old ways of hating the hero, her generals manage to convince and calm her down that Leo has helped their army a lot. Getting straight down to business, Leo points out that the other Philosopher's Stone is at the Seshat Mountains, but it is guarded by a powerful guardian. As they trek to that mountain, Leo reveals that there is a manual on how to operate the Philosopher's Stone. However, it is lost somewhere in the world, so once she gets it, make peace with humans and find it. Echidna soon learns how old he is and his origins. Although she was not surprised, had she known how powerful he was, she would have avoided him completely. However, destiny had them meet instead. Then Leo talks about his embedded orders to protect humanity. The irony of him wishing for more wars when peace came. This had him wondering if he would be holding back humanity and forcing himself onto them. One day, humanity might be strong enough to take down the demon realm themselves, and Leo won't be needed. He will find himself in an existential crisis and perhaps bring chaos to the world just to have a reason to save it. He will rinse and repeat this and become something far worse than the Demon Lord. He hints to Echidna what she must do then. Now that they've reached the spot, there is no guardian, as Leo claims there is none. In fact, the other philosopher's stone is in his heart. So if they want it so badly to save their world, defeat him and rip it out. Come get it and prove yourselves. Leo announces his resignation from Echidna's army, and his new goal is to destroy humanity. When Echidna was young, a bard warned her about a powerful hero defeating their brethren. He warned that if she ever became queen, she should not fight him. Echidna brushed that off and thought she could beat her down easily. After all, she was also confident she wouldn't be queen. Now she is left to eat her words as Leo spares no chance of attacking them, while they are still confused by this shocking twist. Leo is fine with destroying everything, and then starting everything from scratch. Destroy to protect. He is sick of everything, especially of his existence as an immortal guardian for humanity. He blames both humans and demons for this. He's going to destroy them both. Lily tries to have a bit of conversation about the times they had together. Well, that didn't work as he stabbed her. The rest wake up to the fact that Leo is really hell-bent on killing them. Edvard fights him, but even in his true dragon hybrid form, he is still no match. Whatever high-level spell Shutina uses, Leo breaks out with ease and experiences no damage. Mearns questions Leo's lie that if he wanted to pick a fight, he wouldn't have joined their army and got passionate about helping others. Leo shuts him up before he can say what his true goals are. Lily, in her wolf form, is now forced to fight and stop him. Leo dares her. Even so, she falls. Echidna needs Shutina to buy her time as she prepares a spell that was specially made to destroy the hero. A flashback shows her father wanted to pass on some royal demon spells to her as part of the tradition. This includes a very dangerous spell specifically designed to kill the hero. Shutina stalls for time, claiming Leo didn't really kill the rest. Hence, he doesn't really want to destroy the world or humanity, but himself. That is why he wants them to kill him while he is still sane and in control. Echidna is ready and fires her ultimate spell at Leo to disable his abilities for a brief moment. Echidna thought she would miss it, and everything is over. However, it seems he didn't dodge and instead got hit. A smile and a thank you. A flashback of Leo being the hero. He took pride in his job until long periods of peace made him question his existence. On occasion, there were civil wars and invasions from demons, but nothing Leo couldn't handle. When he heard the people commenting on how they would love this peace to last forever, part of him felt sad and wanted war. Then he had the idea to just plunge the world into chaos himself and save it. Hence, he went to recreate the Demon Heart series again and programmed them to destroy humanity so he could save them. All because he still wanted to live. When demons soon invaded, he realized the error of his ways. He destroyed the Demon Heart series, believing he was going to destroy humanity for his own selfishness. Realizing he was worse than the Demon Lord, he needed to leave his Philosopher's Stone to someone worthy. Then he heard about Echidna and her non-violent ways of invasion. Talking to her subordinates, who vouched that Echidna is a kind ruler, was when Leo began his final journey as a hero. He fought the generals and Echidna herself to see if they were worthy, and then he would die. Now Leo has been zapped, and for the longest time, feels in danger of dying because he cannot summon any abilities. At the same time, Echidna had her own realization that Leo gave his services to the world and continued to live alone. Why did he not depend on others or show any weaknesses? Probably nobody will accept him as a hero if he stops being one. Hence, all Leo wanted was for someone to accept him for who he was. If the hero was protecting others, who protected the hero? Leo is relieved and believes in Echidna's capabilities to bridge both humans and demons. The generals pound on Leo, and he finally collapses. Everybody looks sad. Looking relieved that he will soon die, he is glad he got to play the villain with them. Now they have to hurry up and take the Philosopher's Stone from his heart before the wound heals up in 300 seconds. Echidna knows Leo has been going soft on them all this time. He could have dodged it. Well, they're losing pretty badly. While Lily is kicking up a tantrum to not kill Leo, Echidna hates to admit that Leo has been playing the hero through the end, despite playing the villain. He was never going to kill anyone or destroy the world. When Leo says goodbye, that is when Echidna abuses him and refuses to do his job of bridging both worlds for him. It's too much trouble for her. That is why she won't let him die and will let him be the ambassador for both worlds instead. With time running out, Leo panics and hopes Edvard can talk some sense into her. Instead, he would prefer him alive, as he still has a lot to learn. Lily just wants him alive. Mearns can tell from everything he does, says, or screams that he wants to live. Shutina is his last hope. She points out the contradiction in his words as she forces him to restate why he is doing this. Basically, if he is strong enough to develop his own thinking, he should be strong enough to break free from this ironclad order of his. Leo tries to do it, but keeps hearing voices spamming to protect humanity. Suddenly, it stops. Leo realizes all he needed was to convince himself of that. Echidna now gives him one last chance. If he still wants to die, she'll kill him. Leo remembers Ibrad's words. With that, Leo agrees to join Echidna. In the aftermath, everybody parties. Echidna believes that the day Leo stepped in to join them, it wasn't him who was being tested by the army instead. Leo answers her questions by saying that he does not regret a thing since he really wants to help her bring peace to both worlds. He promises her never to play the villain again. Thank you for watching till the end and don't forget to subscribe.